Today we're going to do a recap of what happened yesterday. California governor primary, of course, a very competitive election between Steve Hilton, Javier Becerra, and Tom Steyer. This is not over. Only 58% of the vote is already in. We're expecting now this to take at least 10 days until they report everything, because California, even if you mail a ballot just yesterday and it has like 10 days to arrive, you can do that. That's why now every day we're going to have some dumps in the counties. For example, LA is only at 67%, Orange is at 56%, and there are some counties at 44%, like Alameda, that will help the Democrats getting a higher percentage. That's why I'm expecting Javier Becerra to overcome Steve Hilton, and I don't know, because this is a very far-fetched scenario, if Tom Steyer can actually surpass Steve Hilton, which is now a very steep climb, only more than 400,000 votes, which is almost impossible, but it is not quite. The majority of those left, 42%, are going to be overwhelming to the Democrats. They can help them achieve that, but it will be very, very hard. That's why right now I'm not expecting. Also, Chad Bianco, the Republican sheriff from Riverside County here, you can see there, he won Riverside County and also Layson County. Even though so far I think Javier Becerra will surpass him in Riverside, and here he won. But the rest of the votes, very interesting. Tom Steyer probably better in the rest of the votes here in Alameda, in San Mateo, because the results for Tom Steyer were really, really bad. He was expected to win some of the counties around San Francisco and San Jose, and actually he failed to win all of those, and only won San Francisco County, a very high income, urban, very Democratic county, about like 80% Democratic, and then also Marin County, just a county that it's north of San Francisco, and here Santa Barbara County next to Los Angeles. When it comes to Iowa, we got very interesting primaries here. Senate, Ashley Hinson expected to win. Of course, she won. And Josh Turek, of course, he was able to win as well against a more progressive guy, guy from the progressive side of the Democratic Party. He failed to win. He got 37%. Worse than I thought, to be honest. In terms of turnout, the Republicans got 206 and 192,000 for the Democrats. A very evenly split turnout, because this will be a very evenly split election, I can tell you. And I would argue that Josh Turek is the best option for the Democrats, electorally speaking, for the election in November. As you can see here, he did better in Johnson County. In Sutter County, more of the so-called progressive counties of Iowa. And then he moved to the governor's side, and this was a Trump endorsee, Randy Fenstra, and he was able to lose this 37.01%, and Zach Land, a more establishment, a farmer as well, and a businessman, he was able to win this in part because of the suburban votes that voted for him in overwhelmingly margins. When you go, for example, to more evangelic, the more Christian people here in Ciso County, for example, he was able to lose that, and all of the rural counties here in the more the eastern part of the state of Iowa. Rob Sand, of course, Democratic, uncontested, and he's expected to win the race, at least in my opinion, in November. He got here the House, and it was interesting because the Democrats were able to beat the Republicans in the first, in the third, and in the second in terms of turnout, and in the fourth, of course, not, because this is a very Republican district in November. In New Jersey, we got this very competitive primary in the Republican side. Jesse Murphy was able to win this 33.3%. He did better where? Newark, Jersey City, that's Passaic County, very Latino county as well, and here around Trenton, the suburban areas of Philadelphia, of Pennsylvania. And if you here to Ocean County, Tabor did well. This is a very Republican county. Usually like 70% Republican. Trump got here like 67%, if I'm not mistaken. And here in Bergen County, which is also a very suburban county, this is the suburbs of Manhattan, if you don't know, and here the suburbs of Staten Island and New York City. Bergen County was able to go for Alex Zenda. Did better. He got 27%. He did better where? In the suburbs of Atlantic City, in Monmouth County. This was a very important county in the wins of Chris Christie when he was governor of New Jersey, and he was able to win those elections. Here as well in Sussex County, in Warren County, this is the suburbs of Northampton County, Pennsylvania. Also very important county for the winner in Pennsylvania. Usually the person who wins Northampton County in PA usually wins the state of PA, or the Commonwealth of PA, if you will. And here we got some interesting primaries, but nothing too saucy, to be honest here. Only this one is we're still waiting for the projection. Tiffany Buress in the 9th. He has a bit of Passaic, a bit of Newark, a bit of Jersey City as well. And we're still waiting for that projection, as you can see here. Let me just open that one, because that could be interesting. You can see here, Passaic, Bergen County, and has a bit of Hudson. That's the suburbs of Jersey City and Newark, and a bit of Passaic. Right now, we're still waiting. Tiffany Buress doing much better in Passaic County. We still have some votes there to report. If you're here to Montana, Republicans got higher turnout, because this is a Republican state nonetheless. And Kurt Alm was able to win the Republican side. And Yeah, in the Democratic side, Eleni Bankhead was able to win by 10 points. She did better where in Missoula, that's the capital, that's the biggest city of Montana, and many of the so big cities. Then the rural parts, Riley Neal did better. In the House, we're still expecting the projection in the first, but the Republicans barely won turnout in the first. This is a must win for the Democrats if they really want to get that blue wave. They're hoping. You can see here the turnout in the first. It's a very competitive district. At least they should like the Republican, but if the Democrats are to defy the odds and maybe conquer a higher majority, they need to conquer this seat. 80,000 in the Republican side, 68,000 in the Democratic side. In New Mexico, we got here 214,000 votes in the Democratic side. The incumbent won, of course, the primary. And in the Republican side, you can see here, this is a bit odd, the map. I know it's 8% of the vote in. I think it's everything is in, to be honest, because here's everything in. But this is a write-in candidate. You need to write the name of the candidate, and basically to go to the general, because Republicans failed to have a candidate in New Mexico. The candidate they had before was basically disqualified. And as you can see here, he reached the target. That's 2,541 votes, if I'm not mistaken. And right now, he is going to the general election in New Mexico. In the governor's side, I mean, nothing special here. Gregory Dahl and also Deb Haaland in the Democratic side. In South Dakota, nothing special in the Senate. Incumbent won, and the Democrat wasn't contested. Here in the governor side, much more interesting race, I would say. Tommy Doden, I mean, he was able to win this primary against Larry Roden. Larry Roden, the incumbent governor that followed when Kristi Noem left to join the President Trump's administration. As you can see here, he did better where in a more eastern part of the South Dakota here around Cecil Fall, the biggest areas here in South Dakota, and also here in Rapid City, the also one of the biggest counties. You can see here by size of lead, he did better where here and also here as well. And then the other one, the Larry Roden incumbent, was able to win this here in the more rural parts of the state of Heartland of America, as they call it. But Larry Roden is gone as well. And in California, we already talked about the governor primary. We're still waiting for those. I mean, I think we're gonna do some videos, short videos in the next days to check whether Tom Steyer can actually pull this out. But it's very hard. Lieutenant Governor, Republican against Democrat, nothing special. They didn't project yet, but Josh Friday will not be able to win this, at least in my opinion. Even though the margin is only 300,000, so in a very far-fetched scenario, it may be possible. Attorney General Rob Bonta and Michael Gates, Republican Democrat as well. And here in Los Angeles, we're gonna see if Nithya Raman can actually pull this out against Spencer Pratt, but Karen Bass, incumbent mayor of Los Angeles, is now facing a runoff. That's the first time since 2005 in LA. In many of the House races, nothing too special here as well. And we're still waiting for many projections. That's why we cannot talk about California yet, because we're still waiting for a lot of projections. Only 58% of the vote is already in. This is terrible. I mean, California takes a lot of time to count the votes for some reason. They have all of those mail-in votes. People usually vote by mail. That's why they take a lot of time. I mean, Florida in this aspect is much better. Guys, this was a video. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave your like down below. And I'll be back on Friday with another very important video. Thank you.